Hello, welcome to my combo guide on Canon. We're going to be covering basic strings, combos, and we're going to cover some 0 to death that you should learn. And overall, we're just going to cover all the options you kind of have when you land a single move on Canon. Let's get into it with the most important true combo, which if you learn one thing from this video, I want it to be this. At late percentage, the kill percent, the kill percent is quite high on this map because it has a high ceiling, but Downlight Nair. Downlight Nair is a kill move, which lands all the time, even if you gravity cancel the downlight. And it's very easy to do, and this should be the main combo you're using to kill and the one you're using the most. So we'll get into the early percentage of Downlight, because Downlight has a lot of different moves you can do out of it, but the main one I'm gonna show you is just Downlight Dare. You can also do Downlight Sare. I don't recommend it, however. Downlight Dare is the more optimal one. They both do 30 damage, but Downlight Dare puts them in a good position for you to do more damage to them and for you to kill them if they don't have a dodge. As you can see, you can just kill someone straight away if they have no dodge. But the point is that this is a 30 damage true combo of a relatively quick move with a good hitbox. And this makes it very consistent. You should also be using this a lot in your games to rack up lots of damage compared to other weapons. And yeah. So at later percentage, Sare into Sidelight is true. This again is a good true combo, which is extremely easy to do and can lead to more if they don't have a dodge. It can lead to another Sare if they don't have a dodge. But it being a true combo and doing around 30 damage again means that you're going to have a good time just getting easy damage with this. And this is extremely good as well because Sare is one of your best approach moves. As you can see, even halfway across the stage, I can land the Sare on him. And it's quite quick as well, even with a dash jump. So this makes this combo extremely useful at mid percentages, although it doesn't work early percentages. Some quick strings you can do is at early percentages, because Sidelight Sare isn't a true Sare Sidelight isn't a true combo. You can do Sare into Nair, which is 1 dodge frame on 5 decks, but on higher decks, I am pretty sure you can get it true. But it being 1 dodge frame means it's extremely difficult to dodge if you don't have the timing down, and can be quite consistent in a game and feel like it's true. This also can lead to more follow-ups if you, depending on where you land the Sare. It can take them off stage or just lead to more damage in general. But I recommend always going for something after a grounded side air, because if you don't, they can punish you quite easily and wake you up with just instantly attacking you because of how it places them just in front of you. So if you go for something, whether it's even a jump dare or whether it's a sig or an N-light, just go for something. But if you can do anything at early percents, go for N-light, and at mid percents, go for Sidelight, because Sidelight is true later. Another true combo, which is harder to demonstrate because you have to do it off stage, is Sare Recovery. At certain percents, Sare Recovery is true, and other percents, Sare Dash Recovery is true, or Chase Dodge Recovery is true. It doesn't work on stage because you just hit the floor, but off stage, it's a true combo and extremely useful. So, and can lead to kills often. So now we're going to cover some basic reads just for spot dodges of your 3 main starters of combos, which is going to be Downlight, Neutral Light, and Sidelight. So these are, we're just going to cover spot dodges for this because I feel like this is the most common dodge, and the other dodges kind of are the exact same thing, except you either just step back or move forward before you do it. So let's go into it. So off Downlight, you should never be doing a read. It should always be Downlight Dare and then you do a read. But I say Downlight because that's where the string starts, and that's the angle it should be at. So after Downlight Dare at low percentages, you go for Standstill Sidelight, Sare Recovery. As you can see, this is unjumpable and does a lot of damage, but because they spot dodge right in front of you, you just Sidelight them, jump, Sare, and the recovery is true depending on the percentage. After this, you can do a grav cancel sig if you want to be risky and go for some extra damage and maybe a kill. And you can even replace the recovery with a grav cancel sig, and that's very difficult to get out of as well. but I'll show you what I mean with the recovery in a sig. This can kill depending on the sig, depending on where you are on the stage, but is risky because if you get hit out of it, there's a chance you could die. But I recommend, depending on how desperate you are, I think if you're winning the game and you're up in stocks, you should go for it. But if you're losing and there's a chance that off missing an attack you'll lose, then I don't recommend going for it. Off Sidelight, a neutral dodge is just a jump set into another Sidelight. This depends on where you land on the stage and how big the stage is, because this is quite a small stage and he's in the center. He'll often go too far for me to do another set because I'll be off stage. I'll show you. So you have to step back. But after you do it, if you can land another Sidelight, just do Sidelight set recovery, and then again you can do a signature for the 0 to death, depending on whether you want to risk dying. I'll show you it now. See, that sig didn't connect there, and I almost died because I lost my dodge. So it's extremely risky, but if you're looking for that 0 to death and you really need the win, or you really need to take the stock of your opponent, I would recommend using it. So now we'll do it off neutral light. I recommend a dash behind them set, because if you just do a normal set, they'll dodge it, or if you just like do a jump set, they can wake you up and interrupt your move. But if you get behind them, because you're immune during a chase dodge, so they can't wake you up, it means you can instantly do a set and then you can combo them the other direction. And if you're looking, all of my strings are similar after it. I always tend to do set, Sidelight, recovery, and then just anything after that, possibly a sig, because it's so consistent. This is 2 dodge frames, and the recovery afterwards is true, meaning that it's just the most consistent option afterwards. And this works at most percentages, or they'll die to the set, so it's extremely consistent and useful. So now we've covered the basic quick strings and true combos. I'm just going to show a couple more variants of a 0 to death, because I feel like it's important to have mix-ups and important to know what you're going to do afterwards. So some other 0 to deaths you can do, other than the Sidelight set recovery, or you can go down if they're at the other side of the stage. So if I put the Mordex further away from center stage, you can go down with dares instead of going up with a Sidelight. I'll do that now. As you can see, I'm going to go further down this time. If I can land it. I'm going to go further down. But this could lead to your death if they get out of it. That's why I go higher. But if you can land the 0 to death with dares, or if you have high percentage on them, they can die because they won't be able to make it back to stage. And this is a lot lower than they were before. I die in this case, but the bot, if it used its recovery options, would have also died instead of just teleporting back onto stage. But overall, some things you should know about Cannon in general are Cannon can just end a stock and end a life very quickly. And if you make your opponent panic, you can often just get a free win because they're so focused on dodging the 0 to death that you have. You can just rack up solid damage on them on stage. Lots of Cannon players get too worked up about trying to find these long strings in combos. They don't just break down to fundamentals of the true combos that they have and just the good options that it has in general. Lots of Cannon players just try and focus on 0 to death. But my experience playing Cannon and playing in a tournament of Cannon especially, you're not going to get those opportunities to do the 0 to deaths as much. So you're going to just have to look for those really consistent strings and you're going to have to stay on stage. So now I'm going to tell you the strongest Cannon legends if you're thinking of actually maining Cannon. And the strongest Cannon legends right now, in my opinion, are Onyx because Gauntlet's got buffed. And Sidra, because Sword is an overall just good weapon and she has very solid stats. Zol is very strong as well, but his stats are not the best. He has way too high damage and lower other stats. But Zol, because Axe is so good right now, is very strong. But if you're looking to main Cannon and have a good secondary weapon, I recommend these 2 characters right here. Isaiah is extremely weak. In my opinion, he has a good secondary weapon, but his SIGs aren't very strong, and it can be very difficult to 0 to death on him because his SIGs are very weak. Lin Fei is a very high skill character. She only has 3 damage and 4 defense, so you're gonna have to hit your opponents a lot more if you're gonna want to win games. Thanks for watching. If you want to have or check out my channel, I have lots of other guides, and it would mean a lot if you liked and subscribed. See you in the next one. Thank you.